miles. That, of course, is right in this vicinity here. We will be talking with Mark Mancuso in a little bit, and also Jeff Morrow into those two locations. Jeff is located, of course, across southwestern Pennsylvania. The latest current conditions show the low pressure area crawling up the coast, but some of the precipitation just about ready to shut down or at least taper off. This low is heading to the northeast, and colder air is getting ready to make its way in. Actually, some of the colder air already working its way into Pennsylvania. And to southwestern Pennsylvania, it is now around 20 degrees, maybe in the upper teens, wind chills much lower. We have Jeff Morrow standing by in Somerset County. Jeff, it looks like the snow starting to pick up.
Definitely, Rich, and the flakes are kind of big now. They were really tiny, small, sugary flakes, but this latest squall that's coming in here, definitely some heavier snow. This is probably as bad as we've seen it for about 3 hours or so. The wind is picking up as well, too, really lowering the wind chill. I'd have to estimate it's probably well below zero with the temperature in the upper teens. We have about 3 inches of snow on the ground here. Pittsburgh, which last year, tomorrow, had 6 inches of snow. Well, about a year exactly, almost to the date, they picked up another 3.7 today, maybe a little bit more tonight. Their total, by the way, is up to about 65 inches. I'm not sure if that's a record or not. You might want to check on that. But it's been a bad winter here, just as it has been in many of the eastern cities as well.
Jeff, it looks like, of course, now the sun's setting. Are the roads going to become a little bit slicker now that the sun is setting?
I'll tell you, the combination of the sun having gone down now, it's dark, and the fact that we've lost the sun angle, and if it continues to snow like this, Rich, I'd say the roads will probably start to get a little bad again. Still, the turnpike here behind me, not bad yet. Traffic's still moving very freely, but I'm afraid if we get a little bit more heavier snow, that may change.
Okay, Jeff, we'll check back with you in about a half an hour. Thank you for your report.
Okay.
Well, we also have a look at the satellite photograph which helps us pick out the heaviest of the snow. And right now, actually, the heaviest of the snow working its way out of Pennsylvania, at least southwestern Pennsylvania, and we are looking at the snow continuing into New York State and northeast Pennsylvania through the Poconos. I was mentioning earlier, Mark Mancuso, he is located at Albany, and there has been quite a bit of snow today, and earlier he had told us that the snow had caused some of the problems with the election turnout. Of course, today, New York State's primary, so the snow across the state has held the turnout down. Temperature is still cold in Albany, 14 degrees. Now 32 at New York. That means the rain-sleet combination is beginning to change over, and there could be some problems with the roads. Although the heaviest of the precipitation, you can see the back edge right through here. Still snowing heavily at Boston. In fact, Patrick Walsh, our lead forecaster here, passed me a note saying officially at 6 p.m., 4.2 inches. That still puts us a little ways from that record back in 1993-94. So we're 2.2 inches away from setting that record. Well, we have Mark Mancuso standing by at Albany. Mark, you mentioned earlier about the election turnout a little bit low due to the heavy snow. How are the conditions looking now around Albany?
Well, it's still snowing pretty hard here, Rich, and last time we talked, I told you I'd gather up some facts and figures on record snowfall in Albany. And checking on the historical snowfalls, 1970, 1971, that's when we had the record in Albany, 112.5 inches. That fell in that season there. And so far this season, going into this storm here in Albany, we've had 70.7 inches of snow, so very far away from the record, not even in the top 10 snowfalls. 89 inches was the 10th on the list there, so we're still a long ways away from record snowfall here. But snowfall so far in the season has seen the biggest dump of snow of 11.1 inches, and that fell way back in January. So we haven't seen any big snows here since January, just a lot of little nuisance snow. So far, we have seen about 5-6 inches of snow at the airport and also here right around the Empire Plaza. And checking around the region here, about 7 inches in Nassau and Rensselaer counties, 7 inches in Platte Cove and Greene County, 5 inches in Saratoga. and down to the south of here in Columbia County, about 8 inches. And the Berkshires, we are in Litchfield County, we're getting some reports of some ice and sleet. So it's coming down pretty good here, Rich, and no record snowfall here, but it may be the biggest snowfall of the season, as we're still looking for 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates here for the next 1 to 2 hours, then gradually easing off towards the midnight hour.
Okay, Mark, thanks for that report. We'll check back with you at the top of the hour.
Okay.
Well, speaking about snow, one of the reasons Albany hasn't seen quite the heavy snow, most of it has been along the coast this season. It started out fast and furious, but the storms have been making their way up the coast. But this time, the snow reaches farther inland, up to 1 foot of snow possible in the gray shaded area, so we will continue to watch for that possible record at Boston. Farther to the south, still a tornado watch in effect for the Tampa-St. Pete area, over to near Orlando and very close to Daytona. What is the reason for the tornado watch? Well, we have this line of severe weather here, and there was another line of storms there. Those are moving off to the southeast. We certainly have some good news for you. As of the past few minutes here, at least, no new weather warning. So it seems as though the weather calming down in Florida. We can head back to the studio with Janetta. She has our complete forecast.
Thanks a lot, Rich. Wow, things are going to be changing dramatically tomorrow. As the front scoots on through the eastern seaboard, we're going to see the much, much colder air scooting on into the picture. And it's going to feel a lot like winter to folks in the southeast, where you've been enjoying extremely warm temperatures. The trees are blooming, the flowers are blooming, and what have we got? Well, another cold round of air, unfortunately. And actually, the snow is going to persist in parts of New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, and even into Maine. The freezing rain will come to an end, and it will be in all states. But 40s, the general rule from Jackson to Atlanta. Finally, 50s are back in place on Monday in the Northeast. Still cold, even into Monday. But at least the heavy snow will be over. We'll see some snow flurries on Saturday and a little bit of rain moving into the northwest, but that's about it. Windy conditions across the southeast along with the cold temperatures, just to make things a little miserable for you. And Monday, we still don't see a whole lot of precipitation along the eastern seaboard.